Hey y'all. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Good afternoon. Happy Father's Day to the fathers. Good afternoon, everyone. Drop your state as you come in. Let me know where you're viewing from. Welcome in, welcome in. Drop your state. Let me know where you're at. Good afternoon, everyone. Where's the fathers at? Where's the zaddies at? Where y'all at? If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Shabrell. Happy Father's Day. Where the zaddies at? Where the zaddies at? Let me know you're in the building. That's a pretty name. Nice to meet you too. Hello, everyone just joining. As you come in, drop your city or drop your state, where you're from, where you're viewing from. Welcome in. I'm in Missouri. Florida in the building. New York. Thank you for those that are liking the live. I appreciate it. Louisiana, California, Indiana. Thank you for the follow. Thank you to those that are liking the live. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love and the support. Thank you to those that are following me. I appreciate the follow. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. We're going to talk about some things surrounding father wounds with women and with men. Hold on, I think I might have just seen somebody in here that no, they ain't supposed to be in here. Alright, y'all, welcome in, welcome in. My name is Chabrel. If this is your first time being here, self-love, okay? That is part of the focus today. It is a Sunday, Soulful Sunday, so a lot of you may be having some changes going on right now. A lot of you may be feeling a little bit emotional as well with a lot of the changes. I'm hearing some of you may be feeling burnt out also. LA, hope everything's going well in LA. I need to make my way back out there so I can go to the beach. Ain't got no beach here in the Midwest. Good afternoon, Angela. Welcome in. Okay. So a few things here that I was picking up on. Oh, yes. I would love that. I would love the beach to just be 15 minutes away. I have a lake that's like, it's not too far away from here, so I go to the lake often. I'll probably actually be going to the lake after I get off of this here. Love the water. I'm very connected to the water. Good afternoon. Thank you those that are liking the live. I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for the follows. We'll just go ahead and get started here. There's a couple of things that I was picking up on as far as significance. So some of you may be seeing 333, 555, 1111, 111, 313, and 1212. Someone recently was looking at a townhouse or recently is moving into a townhouse. Someone also is looking into real estate or investing as well. Excuse me. Someone's name is Joanne. Or someone made a stop at Joanne's, that crafting place. Also, someone recently got sick off of drinking. So someone was drinking and got sick. You may not usually get sick drinking, but you may have got sick this time drinking. So this may be a sign for you to, cutting out some of the patterns surrounding drinking. Also, someone recently bought a green clothing item. Something green that someone picked up a green clothing item, recently bought a green clothing item. Also, someone's attention span has been thrown off. So I was seeing someone opening up a book, and it's like you tried to read like one page and then you closed it right back up. So your attention span could be off at this time. Because I'm seeing someone also needing to study. So someone may be in school, or someone may be studying for some type of exam or some sort of test. Also, recent interview. So someone had a recent interview as well. I have midterms coming up and I've been having a hard time studying. Yeah. The attention span is definitely coming up at this time. Get yourself outside. Go get yourself grounded. If you are set yourself in like small increments as well. So if you are setting up like an hour of study time, try to do just 30. Try to do just 30 minutes. Or even I'm hearing 15-minute increments. And also in the morning, in the risings. So take your time to study in the actual morning time, in the rising time. So like 30 minutes in the rising. And cut out distractions also. So, whether you are, putting your phone on silent or putting your phone in a different room, no TV. You also may want to look up some sort of tunes that help you mental focus, okay? One of the ones that I like to use is the Lofi music. And I just go on YouTube and type in Lofi music, study music, and I just turn that on. A lot of music, if you do like music while you're studying or while you're concentrating, try to do music without, you're welcome. Try to do music without like actual words. So more of like just a tune, a frequency. Is easier, because when you are listening to music, especially if you really like music, I'll speak for myself, but I really love music, so I'll start getting distracted and I'll start singing the song and everything. So more of music that doesn't have actual words when you're studying or when you're trying to concentrate. All right, where is the men in here? Where is the men at? Because we are going to go over the father wounds for men at this time. So where is the men at? Let me know you're in here. Don't be shy. Make yourself known. Hey, hey. Where's the men at? Don't be shy. Drop yourself in here. Drop some money bags in here if any men is in here. Hey. Where the men at? Drop some money bags. I need to know you're tuned in and listening and you're receiving this message right now. Happy Father's Day to those that are fathers. All right, so father wounds that I was picking up for men at this time. So some of you may notice a lack of direction or lack of fundamentals of being a man if you have any father wounds. Also, you can pick up on low self-esteem, so value of yourself, your confidence. You may have like a distorted version of confidence as well. So with this, I'm picking up is, you may value what you do for others more than what you value for yourself. Okay. I've been talking about this a lot for men, surrounding, reprogramming that provider standpoint within men. So you may see yourself as, your confidence may come from what you do for others more than what you do for yourself. Okay. So you may value, or you may receive your value through the things that you do for others more than what you actually put into yourself. So you may, find yourself doing more things for others more than yourself. Okay. Hi, Phoenix Rising. Another thing also is anger and resentment and emotional regulation within the father wounds within men. Okay. So a lot of times, you can come across men that have father wounds, they have a lot of anger, built up anger. So they don't necessarily know how to emotionally regulate, especially if you are, just brought up around women, or just brought up around, your mother, and you didn't have that father figure. And that's where that, let me wait on that. So if you only had that mother figure, bringing you up, you may felt as if you had to take on this role of being a man. Okay. And you could have taken on this role as being a man at a young age as well. So yeah, it's Father's Day. So you may have taken a role of being a man at a young age, and felt like you needed to take care of the house. Okay. So you had to grow up fast. You had to grow up early. Being taught that, men don't cry. Men don't show emotions, and what that does is that, that carries and rubs off on, when you do have children, it rubs off on your children. And it shows them not to emotionally regulate. And so what that does, when you're not emotionally regulating, that causes blockages within yourself. And a lot of times also with that emotional regulation, it causes that anger and that resentment, because you're not sure how to process those, those emotions that you actually are feeling. That also, and what Spirit's bringing up to me right now, so with that, not knowing how to process that also brings up, ways of covering that up is, being hypersexual. So, you find yourself out there, dealing with women that, just ready to bust it wide open. Also, you could be coping with drinking as well, coping with smoking, but different ways that you're coping, because you're not really sure how to sit with yourself and emotionally regulate. Okay, because you're not necessarily, a lot of men, you're not really taught that. So learning how to emotionally regulate, following more healthier men as well, because that's another thing, having a distorted version of what a man should show up like. Okay. And that's all that I'm going to talk about as far as emotional or father wounds within the men at this time. And then we'll go ahead and get into what Spirit was showing me surrounding a father wound. But now we'll go ahead and get into father wounds surrounding women. Hi, Lizzie. So father wounds surrounding women at this time. Accepting any type of man. So sometimes when you have father wounds and your father wasn't there, or you had a father that was very inconsistent within women, sometimes we accept men, inconsistent men, we accept the bare minimum. Ashe. So we accept the bare minimum of men. We're not really sure what a man is supposed to show up like. Okay. Also, there is a need for loneliness, so also fear of abandonment. So you may be afraid to be abandoned, like, and that falls within that father wound. So say you had a father that was in and out, 1 minute he's around, the next minute he's not around. That may show up as if how you attract certain men, or, stick around with certain men because that's what your father did. Your father was in and out. That's all you've seen within the first male that you encountered when you was a child. Okay. So you may have that fear of abandonment, or, feeling lonely, feeling like you have to have a man, you have to have, and that's why sometimes a lot of women go from, one man to the next man to the next man, because, you have that fear of lack of stability, or that fear of protection, not really necessarily feeling protected, that loneliness, you're yearning for a man. So that codependency also on a male as well. So you may deal with someone who's abusive, and, may not see it necessarily as an abuser. You just see it as, oh, a man's just going to be a man. That's just how a man is. Okay. I can testify to that. All right. Thank you for the heart, me. But yeah, I can testify to that for sure. Okay, so there could be a lack of self-worth, and a lack of safety within self. So, giving your body up to people that truly don't deserve, you to have, your body. Okay. I'll be on here complaining about my 2.5 years of celibacy, but I will say for men and women, celibacy is definitely a journey that is needed for everyone, to come back to your body. Your body is your temple. So, it's definitely important to come back to your body and know what your body, accepts and what it doesn't accept. Because sometimes that can, that shame, that guilt and everything can manifest those, those BV and that, yeast infection and all those type of things. It can manifest onto the physical. Okay. All right. So those are the father wounds that I was picking up within women. Thanks for the likes, y'all. So what Spirit was talking to me today during meditation was values of a father. So what Spirit was talking to me today was values of a father, okay? And one of the things that Spirit was giving was the protection, okay? And so protection is in multiple different ways. So Spirit broke it down to me emotional protection, spiritually protection, and physical protection. And what Spirit was telling me about the protection surrounding emotional protection was allowing space for feelings and emotions. So this a healthy father demonstrates and regulates their own emotions within themselves, and also understands that emotional regulation allows flow and not blockages. Okay. So any of my fathers out there, there's a need for you to emotionally regulate yourself and demonstrate that as well. So being that demonstration to your children, to pass that along. Okay, they don't just get emotional regulation and emotional demonstration through just the mother. They also need it through their father as well. Because that's also, with that protection surrounding emotional wounds, when we are in a space to where we are feeling emotional, our feelings are hurt or whatever the case may be, at that time we want to be seen and we want to be heard. We want someone to know that our feelings matter, that it is meaningful to someone else. So, if your child is, and that's that sense of protection. So, you're not just protecting someone physically, you're also protecting their emotions. And then in order to do that, you have to have that regulated within yourself. So, a lot of times also we can act as if we care about someone, but it's also an energetic feeling. So it's like we can feel when someone actually truly cares. We can, it's all about energy. So it's like you can be talking that you care about someone's feelings, but your actions is not necessarily showing that you're emotionally regulated to actually understand how someone feels. And then also with protection surrounding spirituality as value as a father, you have a consistent routine within yourself, and you're able to provide guidance and wisdom to your seeds and to your family. Okay. So, value of a father activates a faith practice. Okay, as well. Provides covering and awareness of spiritual warfare attacks that are not seen on the physical eye. So, the other way of protecting, spiritually, is you having a routine, a consistent routine within yourself of feeding your spiritual body, because everything starts off spiritual first and then it goes to the physical. So if you're not correct in your spiritual hygiene, if your spirituality is off balance, it's going to show within your physical form. There's a need to be spiritually connected in order to be able to give guidance to your children. You don't want to give distorted guidance to your children. You want to be able to make sure that you are in alignment with, divine source. You're giving your children the right seeds to sow. Also, in regards to the protection surrounding physically now. So the protection surrounding the physical with the value of a father. I was picking up that armor and shield. So the armor and shield for self and for family demonstrates and values vitality and well-being of the physical. Okay. So not just necessarily protecting on the physical, but valuing yourself, your well-being, your overall well-being within your health. So, what does it look like when it comes to you and your health? Do you get your checkups? Because we know men don't like to necessarily get checkups with a doctor. And that's okay, but because I don't really like to go to the doctor either, because child, it's a whole money gimmick with the healthcare system. But, in order to have an overall healthy well-being, there's a need for you to show a sense of nutrition. Okay, so are you feeding your body correctly when it comes to that physical standpoint and that armor and shield? Are you working out? Do you have some sort of physical routine? Are you going to the gym, or if you ain't got money or whatever it is to go to a gym, are you doing a little bit of exercises at home? Also, with that physical standpoint, also is being able to control the fleshly desires. Okay, so not steering away from greed and steering away from those fleshly desires of sleeping with everyone, valuing yourself and your body as well. And then also showing up as present. So being present also within that physical protection. So being present. I feel like also within our community, we have a lot of men that do, the bare minimum when it comes to, taking care of a child. And, even as like getting a child together for school, like getting a kid dressed for school, helping them get in the bath or a routine, a lot of times it's all pushed on the woman. And, if we have healthier relationships, healthier homes to where both parties are able to co-create with each other, we would have healthier environments and healthier people. We would have healthier children. We wouldn't have one person that's more burnt out than the other. Right, agendas. What's the messages surrounding this Father's Day spirit? What's the messages surrounding this Father's Day? Someone's name can be Ryan. Thank you, Supernatural. What's the messages surrounding this Father's Day? Some of you may be worried about your stability. And I'm hearing foundation. Good afternoon. I'm hearing foundation as well. So, some of you that may be worried about your stability surrounding your foundation, because I'm seeing some cracks. I'm seeing some cracks in the foundation. So, the foundation may not have been sturdy enough for this new level that you are, or this new path that you're going on. So that could be the reason why you're having, you're worried about your stability. But the reason is because it's time to lay a new foundation. So there's a need for you to remap out, have a new game plan surrounding your foundation, upgrade at this time. Taking on the knowledge that you learned from these past mistakes, and to integrate them and move on to the new foundation. What's the soul messages for this Father's Day, Spirit? Someone lives in Mississippi. Thank you for the heart, me. Yeah, see that with this direction, okay? So a lot of you are going down a new path, a new direction. Let yourself be drawn by the pull of what you truly love, divine purpose, mission in life, being guided. Yeah, so like I said, this foundation that is being laid, this divine purpose, is a new foundation. So there needs to be upgrades. There needs to be something that, that you take a new direction with. There needs to be the baggage that's being, dropped off, okay? So there's a need to renew, your spirit, renew your soul, renew your path, renew, the things that, your goals, okay? So renewing a lot of things at this time. If you're feeling lost, there's a need to upgrade the system. You're being guided towards new heights, and there's a reason why certain things are not matching or aligning up. So pay attention to the things that are not matching and aligning up with your new purpose or with your divine purpose at this time. Hey KD, what else here for this Father's Day? Thanks for the likes, y'all. What else here for this Father's Day? Yeah, you have seen my descent, now watch my rising, okay? So a lot of you may have went through some troubles. Yeah, breakthrough, success, overcoming all obstacles. So like I said, there was those cracks that was in the foundation that I was seeing. And with those cracks, that's part of the breakthrough, okay? So, you have to relay that foundation when you start seeing those cracks in, with the foundation. Those are obstacles, that have been, coming forth. Like when like when you're on a road and you see these potholes, and you gotta maneuver around the potholes, because if you continue to go on the path with the potholes, it's gonna fuck your car up, and you're gonna have to get a new alignment with your car, it's gonna fuck your car up. So, with those potholes, with those cracks in the foundation, we have people that come out so they can relay the foundation, so the path will be smooth, the path will remain smooth. Okay, so overcoming those obstacles at this time. And then it says, why be unhappy when your soul is in full bloom? Health, spiritual growth, choosing happiness as well. Okay. So we may be, unhappy about, things that have to change. Nobody's ever, really, if it's not going the way you want it to go, nobody really, wants to be happy about the things that's changing. Thank you for the gifts, y'all. But where spirit is flowing, okay, is where you're going. All right, period. So choosing to be happy, you know, when you upgrade, someone has a red car. Someone has a Pontiac. Some of you have been praying hard for this change, this change to come, and your change is here, and I think it's because you may not necessarily know exactly where it's going to lead you, but some of you have been restoring your faith or activating a new level of faith. I'm hearing you're ready. So Spirit is saying that you're ready at this time for those new levels. So, you know, you may have been in a space, yeah, and there goes an airplane that just went by. So you may be in a space to where you have been trying to emotionally regulate, okay? Confirmation. And so with you emotionally regulating, confirmation again. All right, so with you emotionally regulating, happy Sunday, Darlene. With you emotionally regulating, you're ready for this new level and this new step. So at some point in time, you may have been, and I'm hearing anger issues. So some point in time, you may have moved past, you know, a lot of anger. God, I'm getting all these notifications. It's a lot of distractions. So some of you may have a lot of distractions that's been going on. You may have been passing a lot of these tests of distractions. Yeah, I'm seeing tunnel vision. So somebody's really been focused. You've been focused, and that's why Spirit's saying is that it's time. So you've been getting all these little obstacles, these little tests that's being thrown at you, you know, of these distractions, and seeing where you're going to, you know, continue to lead with this. Are you gonna keep going backwards, or are you gonna go forward? Are you emotionally regulating? Do you know how to, when these obstacles come, are you going to be in panic? Are you going to start, you know, panicking? Or are you going to remain in your faith? Yeah. What you seek is seeking you. Some of you, your third eye is opening more, okay? So what you seek is seeking you. Believe, focus, intent, meet with destiny, all right? So some of y'all are really focusing and putting your intention onto your destiny and the path that you're going. Yeah. Laugh as much as you breathe. Love as long as you live. Have fun. Enjoy life. Nurture relationships. So some of you also may be just enjoying the moment. So some of you may have felt as if you may have cared at some point in time, you know, of the obstacles, and it may have really kind of rattled you, but you may have been in a sense to where you just been going with the flow now. Yeah, because I'm seeing like these little minor things that may be happening. Like, say for instance, like your car breaks down all of a sudden, and it's like, usually it would really piss you off, but it's like now it's just like, hey, I got the money to get it done. We just go get it done, forget it. You know, it's like you kind of just going with the flow. It's like, all right, you know, things happen. So you may just be in a space to where it's like, all right, things happen, and then it's like also you're realizing that certain things is just out of your control. Like, just because, you know, you may be pissed off or you're mad and, you know, and everything doesn't mean that it's going to come any quicker. So you may be realizing that, you know, sometimes your reactions is not helping. It's not helping anything come in quicker. You're still going to have to take care of it regardless. Regardless if you're happy about it, regardless if you're mad about it, you're still going to have to take care of it. So some of you may just be watching your reactions at this time. One more from here, Spirit. What is planted in your soul will sprout. Plant seeds, dedication, your hard work is being rewarded, okay? So you are planting healthier seeds at this time. So, you know, you may be noticing your thought patterns also as well. I actually just recently posted a live replay of that just today too, with the thought patterns. So a lot of you may be, you know, noticing some of your thought patterns at this time. You're noticing, yeah, with that third eye energy, you're noticing the things that are not necessarily you know, helpful with your mind, not necessarily helpful with where you're trying to go at this time. So you're planting new seeds, you're nourishing yourself. So some of you may be even catching those negative mindsets or those negative thoughts that are coming in and trying to creep in, and you like, I ain't dealing with that today. Everything's gonna work its way out. So yeah, so some of you may be, you know, noticing those thought patterns, and it's like y'all curving them, okay, doing the Heisman on real quick. I ain't got time for that negativity, okay? What else here with this energy, Spirit? What else here on this Father's Day? Oh my God, this is starting to irritate me, all these requests. Yeah, there could be a lot of distractions going on right now. A lot of distractions. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for the follows. What else is going on here for this Father's Day? Some of you may be facing like harsh truths as well. So some of you may be just being really truthful with yourself. I think sometimes you may have felt like you wasn't being honest with yourself. And so Spirit was showing you different, you was getting hit with different things. So Spirit may have kept showing you the same pattern within someone else, and you started thinking like, am I doing this? Like, is this something that I'm doing? I'm hearing selfishness. So some of you may have felt like you were selfish at one point, and Spirit kept bringing selfish people in your life. Yeah, all these notifications, a lot of distractions going on. You need some fucking yoga in your life, okay? So some of you need to stretch out, okay? Stretch your body, get your body taken care of at this time. Releasing that energy that's in your body, that stagnant energy. Some of you may need a hula hoop, get that energy out of your hip area. You're holding on to trauma in your hips. Some of you may have hip pain, so it's like it's kind of hard for you to stretch out with your hips because you're holding so much energy in your hips. Some of you may need to book an actual session to get a massage as well. Now, go on Groupon, because if you need to, because you know sometimes those massage sessions, they be like $100, $150. But if you go on Groupon, okay, Groupon.com, type in that spa area, put your location. A lot of times they be having like little 60-minute sessions for like $50, okay? All right. $50 session, $50, $60 or $50 session for 60 minutes, baby. What else here? Right, exactly. That's cheap. So get on Groupon. Okay. Sometimes we gotta ball out on a budget, okay? Shoot. Bills is high, everything just high nowadays. But that's half the price than paying full price, okay? And I'd rather pay half the price than paying full price, you know, for now, all right? Until I can actually afford it. And then also, maybe you can't afford it. Maybe you can actually afford the $100, but it's like if there's a way for you to save, and you know, because you may be budgeting, you may be investing, putting your money in different areas, learning more about financial literacy. You know, it's just who doesn't like a sale? Who don't like a bargain? Yeah. Stop sleeping so much. Also, wake up, you are missing some cool shit. So some of you may be feeling really tired and exhausted at this time. And what Spirit's telling me right now with this tiredness is because your body's going through a lot of changes, okay? And then also you're upgrading. So some of y'all's spirit is upgrading. So with your spirit upgrading, you're taking in a lot of energy. So there's a need for you to you still rest, but changing those patterns within your body. Like I said, that moving around your energy, okay? Moving your body. Getting that physical activity in. Some of you may also want to just go start going on like little 15-minute walks. Okay. Start out small. Also, maybe a shake, some type of like smoothie within the day, drinking more water. But your body may not be getting enough nutrition. So that may be why you're so tired. Some of you may be eating a lot of junk food also. Yeah. So some of you may be eating a lot of junk food, just incorporate more fruits and vegetables as well. Drinking more water, taking supplements. Yeah, that caffeine, you may want to substitute, that caffeine. If you drink coffee a lot, maybe try some matcha. Also, there is chicory root tea, and it tastes like coffee as well. You may want to just wean yourself off of it though, because when coffee drinkers, it be a lot with that. Yeah. And then stop fucking whining as well. So some of you may be, maybe feeling, drop the effing ego as well. Okay. So, some of you may be just annoyed by a lot of the changes. There's just so much that's going on, because even for myself, I'd be annoyed also sometimes. Like, I'd be so annoyed about what's going on. Like, and then it's just like, when there's so much going on within the outside, we are so overly stimulated to where it's like you really don't want to do anything sometimes too. It's like sometimes you do just want to just lay the fuck down, because it's just like your mind is on overload for everything that's going on, whether it's bills, whether it's society, that's, the protest and, all these different laws that's going on, whole time you're still trying to learn how to navigate your life, trying something new, whole time, spirituality is awakening more. So you trying to learn more about spirituality. Like, it's just a lot. No, I don't, but I have been doing some like poetry, but it's not necessarily I've done a little bit of poetry, but I might have to look into that. Thank you for that though. Let me screenshot that, because I actually might do that one day. Thank you for that. One more from your spirit. All right, so self-love. And what I say, drink a smoothie, okay? Detox. It says drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out, okay? So like I was saying with this path, you know, that need to, you know, getting rid of things, detoxing. So yeah, so some of you need to drink a smoothie a day. You know, get some more of that, those vitamins in. And one thing that I do, so it's like, I'm not necessarily a good vitamin taker, so I don't take pills because I'm going to forget to take them pills every single time. So what I usually do is I get the powder form of stuff. So like maca root, spirulina for like, you know, some iron. What else do I use? Ashwagandha, you know, for that stress reliever, that helps you with your mental as well. So, you know, if you have a hard time with the pills and stuff, like taking supplements, put it in your actual smoothie. So you have like a whole smoothie jam packed with lots of different, you know, even like that green powder as well. But you have a whole smoothie just in one day. You can just, you know, put your supplements in. It's much easier. All right. And then with this love, this self-love, it says, get some, give some, get some. It will cheer up. It will cheer your ass up. Okay. So this is surrounding like that self-love, you know, and also that, reciprocation energy as well. So some of you may like to be a giver, but pay attention when you are over giving as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, so some of you may be givers, but some of you may want to just watch out how you give, okay? So pay attention when you are over giving, because that may also be what be causing that tiredness, okay? So working on that people pleasing energy. Yeah, put the fucking phone down as well. Put the fucking phone down. So yeah, so some of you may be spending too much time scrolling. You scrolling too much, okay? And if you do have an iPhone, we do know that that does pop up on our screen. Okay, what's it called? It's like a, what's it called? It tells you how much you be on your phone, okay? So, what is it here? Yeah, your productivity. Yeah, that's screen time. Okay, so it tells you how much you're on your phone. So some of you may want to check that out on your iPhone. See how long you be on your phone. You know, limit yourself some time. Limit yourself some time before you go to bed. You know, being on screen time. You know, you're soaking up all that. You know, all that energy. You're soaking up too much. Okay. So find things that you can create, you know, you know, hobby wise, like, you know, you may want to do some painting, you know, get outside, just sit outside a little bit longer, and just kind of start off slow also, because, you know, I be glued to my phone sometimes too, but a lot of times I don't even want to be around my phone, and it took time for me to do that. So, you know, maybe start by not necessarily viewing so many people's story, you know, or if you are going to be on social media scrolling a lot, start following more healthier, you know, more healthier things, more healthier pages, more you know, knowledge, wisdom, you know, things that you want to start following. So you're learning while you're actually scrolling. Okay, period. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of integrate, you know, my page more with more of the teachings. It's all going to come together. But I've been putting out more just like messages more than anything. But it's all going to integrate in the way I want it to integrate, because I want it to technically be fully wellness instead of, you know, being seen as just a reader. Because, yeah, that's not what I want to be seen as. So... what else here, Spirit? One more here. One more here, Spirit. And y'all want to know one thing that I noticed also with people, like when I stopped viewing, people's stories and keeping tabs on people and everything like that, like people get to feeling some type of way about that. And they'll stop showing love and everything, like feeling like it's like they take it very personally. But it's just like, I don't even be filling my feed up with people like that. Like I don't even want to, because it keeps you distracted anyways, especially when you're on a different path. Like I don't have time for that. Whatever you are thinking about, don't do it. Now is not the effing time. Shame, regret, guilt, those are just bullshit, okay? So this came out together. So some of you may be having thoughts, and it could be because of surrounding some sort of shame, some sort of, resentment. You may be feeling some type of way. So pay attention to when you are in, a mess, in a more low vibrational energy, or you're angry, you're mad, pay attention to your reactions, pay attention to how you are going to handle certain things. Okay. So sometimes, taking the high road, is, it builds up that good karma. Okay. Sometimes, that ego can get in the way to where you feel like you need to, get a little get back. But don't worry about that as much. Sometimes you just got to let it go. Sometimes you just got to take the high road. And sometimes that does not be easy all the time, because sometimes when I tell you, I have not wanted to take the high road for so many things, and I wanted to lash out, cuss somebody out, beat somebody up, whatever the case may be. Yeah, block them. Okay. Sometimes you just got to literally just be like, you know what, you can have it, and sometimes like we have those thoughts that come in the back of our head, like you weak for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you think that you weak because you're taking the high road, because that's how society deems you to be. Oh, this person's saying this, what you gonna do about it? I'm gonna move around. Because sometimes people don't understand that you may know in your mind that you can really eat somebody up with your words. You can really eat somebody up by beating them up. You can eat somebody up, but it's just like sometimes it don't even be worth it, because it just don't even be worth it. It just don't. Some people just want to take you out of your element just to take you out of your element. And it's just like, for what? Okay. Because you're mad. Yeah, it is real. Energy exchange is real. So, you got to block that person. If you got to unfollow that person, whatever it is, do that. Yeah, it definitely be some type of control. They trying to control your reactions, see you on a healing journey, and they be like, oh, look, she ain't healing no more because she's spazzing out. No, people still, trust yourself at this time. Okay. Trust the process. Trust the process. And this fell into whatever you're thinking about, don't do it. Okay. So you may be feeling those, that intuitive nudge that maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I shouldn't send this message. Some of you may be typing out a long ass message. Okay. Like wanting to cut somebody out, but maybe typing that message out and actually not sending it actually sent that thought of maybe I shouldn't send it. So it's like, pay attention to yourself, trust the knowledge that you're receiving from Most High at this time. Okay. So, maybe typing it out, in your notes is typing out in your notes is beneficial. Writing it out, journaling it out, cuss them out in a journal. Okay. But whatever it is, relationship. So some of you may be having some sort of relationship issues, surrounding family, friends, a partner. And, you may want to respond in a certain way, but Spirit wants you to pay attention to the way you're responding, your reaction. So you may be getting tested at this time with your commitment. You have those provocative spirits that like to provoke you, to be in a certain way. And then, a lot of people, they'll turn around, and once they provoked you, and then they'll be like, are you okay? Like, you didn't just provoke me? Like, what? Well, I tell you, I got a few people that's done that to me within my family, and they'll be like, oh wow, this really gets you rattled up, don't you? And whole time you done rattled me up. Like, what? The gaslighting be so real. It be so real. It just be like, And then you be sitting here mad because you done let them get a piece of you, and it's like, nah, you needed a piece of that. But sometimes it just be like, God damn it, you got me, motherfucker, you got me. So watch your reactions at this time, y'all. Okay, and Spirit said that's the truth. All right. So we got truth that came out and trust. All right. Truth, trust, and solitude. Hold on, y'all. I got to do a puzzle. Yeah, so we got truth, trust, and solitude, okay? So yeah, so people may be, irritable about you being in your solitude at this time, okay? Because you're seeing the truth in people. You're seeing people's true colors, okay? When you got into this solitude, you starting to see people for who they truly are. And that's why they want a reaction out of you, okay? You may be someone who actually, tells the truth to these people, and they don't want to hear it. A lot of people don't like to hear the truth. And then with this trust, like it says, when love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Okay. So, like I said, sometimes with those reactions, sometimes when you're about to send that message, think before you speak. So sometimes, like I said, when you're typing out that message and all of a sudden you're like, maybe I shouldn't send that. Trust that, because there may be a different time for you to actually say it, because you may be irritated at the time. And so your response is coming out irritated. Okay, so you may say something that you may not want to say at the time, but if you wait and then you actually have a more, mindful moment within yourself, you can have more of a mindful message. And then when you hit people with those type of messages, they don't even know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with themselves after that, because it's like, okay, because it's the truth. Okay. And then on top of that, you say it in a more mature manner. It's like they don't know what to do with themselves. Now it's like, dang, what do? I didn't get their reaction. Yeah. One more here. Yeah, and I'm looking at this. It says, you are not the center of the universe. Okay. So, these people may feel like they, everything revolves around them, like they're the center of the universe. Like you have to respond. You have to be this way with them. Like I said, stop obsessing. Okay. Stop obsessing. So people may be obsessive over your energy. When you start to raise your vibration, you start to attract not only good things, you attract when you're raising your vibration, but you're also attracting that low vibration, because people like to come to the light. Yeah, make it God's. Okay. With make it God's, this is pretty much saying that, giving this over to the universe, giving it over to God. This is not something that you need to take in your own hands. Okay. Sometimes you just got to let it go. It's above me now. You mad about my process? You mad about the way I'm going? It's above me now. You're gonna have to take that to God. You're gonna have to go talk to Spirit. I didn't call this upon my life. Okay. I got called into solitude. So if you got a problem with that, go pray to your God. Okay. We're going to close this out with a little Raise the Vibration Oracle. And also, a Soul Truth. So we'll start with this one first. So y'all shadow work. All right, today or whenever you have time to journal out what your soul is requiring you to do at this time? We'll see here. What is their Soulful Sunday message, Spirit? What is their shadow work message? What is the collective shadow work message, Spirit? Some of you may be getting a lot of tests of patience. So some of you may not have been patient, or you have trouble with being patient, trouble with control. Am I focused on what I want the most? Okay, screenshot it. So what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments and prioritize? Okay, so what we was talking about earlier today in regards to those cracks in that foundation, and the need to prioritize certain things because it's what you want, and that's another reason why you may be being pulled into solitude. Okay, because you may have been praying for this new destination, praying for these new things, these new blessings, these new things that you want to come into fruition. But there's a need for you to sit down in solitude and see what's really what you need, really what you want, really what you need to prioritize at this time. So like I said, also some of you are scrolling, that came out too much. You may be on your phone too much, so start following things that are more of the value that you want to be into, want to go through, or see yourself as. Okay, so if you want to start, your body getting better, start following more people that actually take care of their body. So when you're scrolling, that motivates you. Okay, I'm seeing people on my timeline that's taking care of their body. Let me go ahead and get myself in, in the gym. All right, let me go ahead and start working out. Let me go ahead and start stretching. Let me go ahead and start, eating this better. Okay, so instead of scrolling and seeing all this unhealthy things and all these things that people are just doing just to be doing, you're scrolling and you're seeing more nourishment. You're nourishing your body. Okay, what you're seeing is what you're believing, or what you're intaking that energy. Okay, so we don't only just intake things by the mouth, we also intake things by the things that we are seeing, also the things that we are hearing also. Okay, one more. Thank you. When was the last time I couldn't stop laughing or smiling? Okay. Some of us are, we get so piled up with so many different priorities and things we got to do surrounding this, this life and everything, to where also maybe, when you are on social media, it makes you laugh. When I be on TikTok, I'll be cracking up sometimes too. So, but just making time for yourself. Okay. Doing the things that you love. What do you actually love to do? Yeah. Where am I with my health goals? Okay. Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? What will it take for me to get what will it take for me to feel well? Okay. So like I said, this is the time to sit down and actually ask yourself what you truly want. Where are you at within your health? Okay. Where do you actually want to be within the next 3 months? Two from here, Spirit, and we'll close it out. You're welcome. Facing my shadow removes darkness from the world. Okay, what I say, this shadow work. Okay, so, get to doing that shadow work. And that shadow work is, the things that you don't necessarily like to bring light to. So the things that may make you feel uncomfortable. Thank you for the octopus. Thank you, Supernatural. So with that shadow work, okay, so these are the things that you don't like to face with yourself. Okay, so these things that, you know, Spirit is trying to bring light to. Okay, that's why you got to sit down with yourself and ask yourself questions. You know, you got to ask yourself, you know, we want to go ask other people questions. We want to know, you know, everything about everybody else. But it's like, what about you? What about you? What type of questions are you going to ask yourself at this time? If you're unhappy, why am I unhappy with my life? What can I do better? Okay? How can I start off small? Because when we like to, you know, have all these unrealistic expectations for ourselves, you know, we end up not following through. Okay? I'm reading the book The Power of Less, and you know, and sometimes when you pick up a book or when you're reading something or you come across certain things, because this right here is confirmation, okay? When you go to a reader, it should always be confirmation of what your spirit was already telling you. But you just was filled up with other, you know, people's thoughts or whatever it is, other beliefs that's been, you know, piling up on you to where you doubt yourself. You're doubting your intuition. Believing is seeing, okay? Believing is seeing. Sometimes we have to see sometimes we have to see it before we actually believe it. Okay? That's why, because there was a person that came into my life and was telling me that I didn't need the cards and everything like that. But what I told them was, sometimes people need to see the card, okay, in order to believe it. The confirmation. I'm already talking about, I'm already saying, it's already been channeled in, but Spirit always confirms me with these cards. So it's like, oh, okay, now I can trust my intuition more, because at the end of the day, it's coming out in the cards. You know, when people go to the gym, they go to the gym for a good week and they ain't seeing no results because you want the results to come so fast, and you're not really seeing nothing. So since you don't went to the gym for one time, I ain't see no results, I ain't going again. I don't see nothing happening. That's why people go and they get them, you know, them surgeries and everything. Nothing against it, but, you know, people go get surgery and everything because it's instant results. Okay, I can see it because it's literally being done. But sometimes, you know, you have to trust that process. Sometimes you have to trust that process in order for, you know, you to, you know, believe it and see it. Sometimes you just have to trust, you know, your journey as well. You know, don't be so hung up on the outcome or, you know, the results. Enjoy the process. You know, you got to change your mindset. You know, it's like you may want the perfect body, or you may envision the perfect body, but, you know, there's a need for you to enjoy the process of it. My body is my temple, so I'm happy that I'm actually taking care of my body. I'm starting to feel better. You know, your mind, when you go and work out, your mind starts to clearing up also. You know, you're clearing up that mind as well. You're getting all that energy out when you're sweating. You're releasing those toxins. Yeah, it's definitely a tool. It's definitely a tool. Some people be abusing it, but, you know, it is meant to be a tool, just like the Bible as well. So tarot is a tool. I'll be preaching that all the time. Shift your perspective, okay? There's always a way to shift your perspective. There's always something new that you can learn, okay? There's always something new that you can dive deeper in, like all the time. You can always see things in different ways. Yeah, shift your perspective. All right, I'll do 3 free 2-card pulls, okay? So if you want a 2-card pull, I'll do 3 people at this time. Drop a mermaid in the chat if you want that done. And drop a mermaid in the chat. I'll be taking 3 people for 2 free card pull. saying your name right? Katana? Am I saying your name right? Okay. All right, let me cleanse this energy first. Gratitude, Spirit. Gratitude, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, my highest light. Cleansing the energy, please. All right, Katana, and then Jin, you'll be next. Organization is significant, Katana. So a need to get organized at this time. I'm hearing ADHD. So you may have like some attention span that to where you need to organize, okay? Something being organized will keep you more attentive, okay? So I don't know if you have like a planner. I don't know if you have like a planner, but there may be a need for you to get like a planner. Also, you know, get one of those little things that you can put on your refrigerator, maybe some sticky notes. So I feel like you need like little reminders. You need reminders around your house, around your home. Maybe even setting a reminder on your phone as well. But organization is very significant for you. So there's a need for you to get organized. Because I feel like, with that attention span, it's like you want to get things done, but you start and you stop. So it's like you start this, then you go over here and start this, then you go over here and start this, and then you come back to this and do a little bit more over here. So there's a need for you to just organize it out, okay? And when it comes to your goal setting, don't do anything else until you finish that goal, okay? So you may want to put that goal and then do like little sub goals, okay? Been working on routine. Good. All right, what do we have for Katana Spirit? I'm seeing a turtle also. So green could be significant to you. And also with that turtle, it's just giving me slow and steady. So you may be worried about the process of things, but if you are currently working on a routine and you feel like you are, okay, because I'm hearing self-sabotage, and you may be a little bit hard on yourself. So if you are feeling hard on yourself, so say for instance, you have a routine and you miss it that day. Don't beat yourself up for missing that routine that day. Just start again tomorrow, okay? So routine does not have to be Monday through Friday, okay? Routine can also be every other day. Routine can be every other 3 days. Routine can be a monthly routine, so just paying attention to the way that you are, showing up as far as your routine. Don't beat yourself up at this time, okay? What's going on with Katana? Okay, it says, stop playing small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion, courage, moving forward, making progress and action. Okay, so see yourself for and I'm hearing also you may want to write out like a gratitude. So you may need to really get a journal. Okay, I'm really picking up on writing things out because it's going to help you see it, and also it's in your mind. Okay, so a need for you to write some things out. Also, to help build that momentum, also you may want to write out when you did your routine, so that you can come back to that come back to that journal and see, oh, I did my routine this day. Okay, so keep track of when you are actually doing your routine, because when you start seeing it, you'll feel more better about yourself, that you actually are being consistent with your routine. Yes, girl. One more here for Katana. One more here for Katana. Reason is powerless in the face of love. Romance, communication, listen to your heart. Okay, so in this communication, what I feel like is this communication is you communicating with yourself, your higher self at this time. Okay, that self-love. So you really pouring into yourself. You may also want to buy yourself some flowers as well. Okay, so also, like I said, with that you know, with you writing down, seeing that you are actually taking care of yourself, reward yourself. Okay, maybe set yourself a goal. So say, for instance, you got a routine, you know, you do your routine for 10 days straight or 10 consecutive times, you know, consistently. Reward yourself now. Okay, I need to reward myself now for, you know, being consistent with what I'm doing. Say, for instance, you are working on, you know, working out, or, you know, working on your physical body. So, you know, maybe you eat well all week, or you eat well 3 days, and then you want to go reward yourself with a little ice cream treat. Do that too. Okay. So, paying attention to, yeah, you have seen my descent. Now watch my rising. Breakthrough, success, overcoming all obstacles. Okay, so you are overcoming at this time with these obstacles that you're going through. Believe in the process, believe in yourself at this time, and reward yourself when you are actually, you know, taking care of business. Okay, so that you're communicating with yourself, you're seeing yourself as your higher form. Okay. And that's all I have for you, Katana. You're welcome. Cleanse the energy, spirit. All right, Jen, where you at? And then I'll take one more for free 2-card pull. Drop a mermaid in the chat. I'll take one more person after Jen. Hello, hello. I'm hearing ninja, like automatically as I was picking up on a ninja. Karate is significant. I'm not really sure with that. I'm also hearing like fantasy, maybe into like fantasy books or something, like some sort of fantasy stuff. What is this ninja energy? I'm hearing also practice makes perfect. So also that may also fall into the line of discipline. Okay, so there may be a level of discipline that you may be reaching. Because with that ninja energy, you know, with karate energy, you have different levels of belts. You know, you go through like green belt, red belt, black belt. So there may be a need for you to, pay attention to your discipline habits. What's going on with Jen? Soul messages for Jen. It may be a level of mastery. So there may be, so with that starting out small. So there may be like that level of mastery. So, you know, mastering something. I'm hearing crafting also, or I'm seeing like pottery. So there may be a level of like mastering and like it's growing. Okay. So there's a sense of something that you may be working on that's going to grow within time. So because with that, practice makes perfect. So it's just a matter of you still staying disciplined in whatever you're doing. You may be really good with your hands, because I'm seeing like beading also. So you may just be really good with your hands. You may like crafts, or Spirit wants you to get into crafting. One more for Jen. The wound is the place where the light enters. Healing, blessings, strength to carry on. Okay. So you could be going through a lot of like healing right now. You're going through some changes. And I feel like that's what that, because I was picking up on like a warrior energy when it came to that karate or that like that ninja. I was picking up on that warrior energy. So your sacral chakra, so with that creativity, okay, now that's what I'm picking up on. So your sacral chakra is significant. So you may want to do like some womb healing, some sacral energy healing. So you may have like a creative blockage at this time. Maybe not feeling so creative. Inner child wounds as well. So you may have some inner child wounds that's coming up. I'm hearing father in particular. That's why we're having that father wound energy coming up. The moon is bright when it doesn't avoid the night. Hang in there. Be patient. You are on the right track. Okay? Scary accurate. So hang in there. Be patient. You are on the right track at this time. Okay? So you may be going through some dark moments at this time. It may come in waves also. Like I'm hearing depression. So it may come in waves. So what Spirit is wanting you to do, what's directing you to do, get creative at that time, okay? So, you know, I need to tend to that inner child. So doing some inner child healing, because that's what I'm really picking up on is some inner child healing and sacral chakra. So work on your sacral chakra at this time, and also that inner child wounds and father wounds. I'm hearing also it's okay to cry. So you may get to a point to where you don't really like crying. But this is what's going to cleanse you out. Okay, it's going to cleanse that energy out. I'm hearing also you don't really like this to be alone. You don't like to sit by yourself. So it's okay, so change your thought process when you are alone, okay? Because you know you may be going through some dark moments, and so with this strength to carry on, and also this hang in there, be patient. You're on the right track. Allow that energy to flow through and process, okay? The more you get that energy, that stuck energy out, that energy that you're feeling, you know, the more you get it out, the easier it's going to let you, you know, move forward. Okay. So you may not want to stay stuck in that energy of that depression. Okay. So whenever you do feel yourself feeling depressed, or you feel dark and down, allow just like a good hour. Okay. So just allow just a good hour, and then go do something crafty. Go do something that you love to do. Okay. After that, because if you keep yourself in that dark, you're not going to be able to let that light come in. And that's all I got for you, Jen. Good. You need to allow that emotional cleanse, okay? I'm sending you love on your journey. Thank you for the follow. Okay, one more. I'm not seeing anyone else have put the... So if you want a free 2-card reading, 2-card pull, drop a mermaid in the chat. I'm doing one more, just one more. So if you want a free 2-card pull, drop a mermaid in the chat. Jen, if you are still here, it says, I know you are tired, but come this way. Renewal, keep going. Your path is revealed, okay? Keep going at this time. The light is the light is being shined on the dark time that's going on within your life at this time, okay? So it says, I know you are tired. Keep going. All right, Liz, I got you. All right, cleanse this energy, spirit. Channeling energy for Liz. Channeling the energy for Liz. Channeling soul messages for Liz at this time. Nature can be, you can be getting in tune with nature more, or you may be really in tune with nature. Certain things in nature is starting to, attract your attention at this time. Seeing black and white. So this may be the as above, so below balancing, okay, your energy. Also, I was seeing a panda. You may be connected to pandas, or you may want to look up the spiritual meaning of pandas. What else for Liz, spirit? Solar plexus chakra is significant. Confidence, affirmations. What else for Liz, spirit? I don't know if you go hiking or you like to ride a bike, but yeah, getting out in nature is really significant. I'm not sure if you be outside or not, but biking or hiking is significant. Or this could be like, because I'm seeing someone travel up a hike or a mountain, so it's like it could be you, like your momentum, okay? So the cycles, your momentum going up the mountain, so you, because I'm hearing also that song now, that ain't no mountain high enough. This could be a sense of you pushing through cycles at this time, because a lot of times when I do get a bike, it shows me cycles. So this could be a sense of you pushing through cycles and going up, accelerating, ascending. What's the soul message for Liz, spirit? The moon is bright when it doesn't avoid the night. Hang in there, be patient. You are on the right track. Yeah, so that track energy, okay? So you're going on the right track with these cycles that you may have been closing out at this time. You could be shining a light on the darkness that you're going through also at this time as well. I'm hearing something surrounding possibly a situationship or a relationship. One more for Liz. What is planted in your soul will sprout. Plant seeds, dedication. Your work is rewarded, okay? Yeah. Nighttime can be really significant for you because I'm looking at these stars and then this moon here as well. So nighttime can be really significant. You might like to stargaze. Like I said, I keep looking up at the sky. So nighttime is very significant for you. You may be getting up in the middle of the night. When you are getting up in the middle of the night, pay attention to your thoughts because you may be getting intuitive nudges or intuitive messages coming in at the time at night. Your spirit team might be waking you up. Yeah. This also, it says, I know you are tired, but come, this is the way, renewal, keep going, your path is being revealed. Okay, so there's some things that are being revealed to you at this time. A lot of light energy, okay? A lot of balance is going on at this time. We seeing 1010. 555 also is what I'm hearing. Yeah. So there's some new things happening for you, okay? All right, that's all I have for you, Liz. Yeah, look for the answer inside your question, okay? Be honest with yourself, you know the truth, all right? So yeah, there's some things that you are becoming more aware of at this time. So outside may be significant, so may need to go outside. You may be getting assisted with being outside, okay? It makes things a little bit more clear because you may be asking a question to, you know, divine source, you know, universe, whoever you pray to. You may be asking a question and there's a need to clear up your energy so that you can have, so you can answer that question yourself because it's already there, okay? You're welcome. All right, y'all. I do have a reading special. You get a 10-minute video sent to your email for $33.33 right now. It's $10 off for the month of June. It's a new service I just kicked out. But link in bio if you do want a personal reading. And I think that's it, what I'm picking up here from Spirit. So, happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. I will be putting out a Father's Day message today as well. So, keep on the lookout for that. If you haven't followed me already, give me a follow. Thank you, everyone who liked the live, shared the live, sent me gifts. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Peace and love. I'm out of here.